Hello, hello, hello. Back with another tale. Kind of want to wrap up Northwood Court with just a couple of little funny anecdotes that don't really have any fitting anywhere else, but still belong to that time. There was a time when my mom and Tim and my brother Guy went up to Bangor for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. And Bangor has that big Paul Bunyan statue. And my brother climbed up on the base somehow. I'm not sure. But then of course I wanted to get on, and I got up there, and my mom wanted to take a picture of us on top of it. And so of course he picked me up and started threatening to throw me off. And that was the picture my mom got. And like it's a very funny picture, and I don't have it on me now. I'm not sure where it is, but I'm sure it's around somewhere. Maybe Jasmine has it, or maybe Guy has it. But it pretty well encapsulates like our childhood, in both that it was scary and goofy at the same time. Sorry. Another anecdote that I always found funny, and my mom found equally funny, was at some point, I was probably in 4th grade, and it was near, it was sometime when we were still at Northwood Court, but I think near the end of our time there. I had done something shitty. I was a bit crazy, a bit like Silas, I guess. And my mom decided to spank me, and it wasn't something that she did. Like she didn't really use physical violence, but for some reason this time what I did must have just pushed her over the edge, and it was I guess it was past the time when she could have done that, but she didn't she didn't realize it until it was too late, and she just her spanking me was causing me to laugh, and I just thought it was absolutely hilarious. And the madder she got at me laughing, the harder I laughed. And it went for a while until she started laughing as well. And it was just, it ended with both of us just laughing with each other about how ridiculous it all was. And when I got older, we talked about that a couple of different times, and it was always a very good part of her personality that she could talk about those sorts of things openly and with humility that some parents might not have when talking to their children, or at least, I mean, it doesn't seem that way to me, to the people, a lot of the people that I know, how they interact with their parents. And that definitely dictated a lot how I interacted with the kids, with Jasmine, Jack, and Silas, I hope. I definitely, wanted to emulate her. Not in the spanking, obviously. I mean, I've never spanked any of you. At least not seriously. But in the ability to have real conversations about real things, and know that be willing to own the fact that I've made mistakes, but they've everything's always been out of love. So yeah, I feel like that's an important thing to do. And I know that I haven't had much opportunity with Jack and Silas in that regard as I have with Jasmine, since Jasmine is older. But I hope to have those opportunities, and if I don't, then I hope that these videos provide those opportunities. you know. So around this time, I'm not really quite sure which came first or why it happened, but we ended up moving to a campsite in Brunswick. The spring of my 4th grade year. I didn't change schools for the time in the school year where we were out there. We just drove from Brunswick to Bath. But we ended up spending the entire summer there, and well into the fall. And it was either under the guise of we were looking for a house, or we had found a house and had to wait for it. I mean, I don't imagine we had to wait for it because the house was a piece of shit. But I'm not sure which way it actually went. It doesn't matter. In any regard, we moved to a campsite called White's Beach in Brunswick, and I'm not going to dive deep into that right now, but I'm going to get to that next time and talk about that before getting into when we go back to Bath and getting into junior high school and all that shit. Just some things I'd like to touch on and talk about. So anyway, that rounds up Northwood Court and 4th grade for me. And yeah, I hope you got something out of it. I hope I got something out of it. Jasmine, Jack, Silas, I love you guys. And anyone else watching? Well, okay then.